He says revenge. He says vengeance is mine. So when you take revenge, you are saying you are God. Oh, for believers, we should be sitting back and we should be like, man, I'm going to just leave it in God's hands. See, what the world wants you to do is the world wants you to retaliate. But God says, I want you to wait. And matter of fact, when he takes vengeance in his hands, you don't even have to see it. We don't need to see it. We shouldn't long to see it because that's not what he's calling us to do. He's trying to keep our hearts pure. We talked about this last week. Our hands clean. Our hands clean, how we treat people. But we didn't talk about the heart's pure yet, but we'll talk about that this Sunday. But the heart being pure. This is huge. This is huge. But do you see this? Basho, do you see that people are being pure in heart? Or do you see people with dirty hands? And today you can have dirty hands and have on social media. That's just the way it is. And then it's so accepted among the churches that when if I share a message like this, they be like, that's weak. God wants us to do. You don't know Christ. You know your pastor and what he's saying. That's it. One of these days, I'm going to be gone. But the one thing I'll die knowing is that I preach the gospel according to the word, even if it was against how I feel. Do I want to sometimes go after people for going after me? Yeah, but I don't. Because I remember that vengeance is his. And all that's going to do is it's going to taint my witness. It's going to hinder the work that God has for me to do. If I look like the world, it's no way I can preach Christ. It ain't going to happen. Not that way. So these are things is why we should avoid it. Speculation leads to arguments rather than edification. That's why we should avoid foolish and ignorant speculations. They distract from the truth of the gospel. When we look at speculations, it distracts from the truth of the gospel. They cause division rather than unity among the believers. We've seen how God looks at unity.